Tana on here? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a minute early.
What?
She was a whole minute early.
Oh, she is.
Her go.
What's up, Tana? Can't hear her, though.
No.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes.
Woohoo!
All right. I didn't know we had you. Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome, Dave. I
Are
was
we good?
early out of sheer fear.
I appreciate that. I like that shirt, sweatshirt. Is that just pickles?
It's just jars
Is
of
that
pickles,
the
yeah.
fucking TikTok one that everyone's buying?
Yeah, it was a birthday gift, and I think I had like a seizure when I opened it. I love pickles. Love
What do you
pickles.
mean it's a TikTok thing? What does that have to do with anything?
Like the
Like-
TikTok ads.
Yeah, it's like viral on TikTok. TikTok
Huh.
ad.
I didn't know that. We good, Austin?
Yeah, Josh, you good on your end?
Yeah, we should be good over here.
All right. Let's go, BFFs. Welcome, Tana Mongeau. Welcome to the show. What is this? The third, second? Well, I'm lost.
I think it's the third. It's the
Third?
third.
And
Third,
how many
yeah.
times so you've skipped twice and been on 3?
I only skipped once, and I deserved everything that came with that. The second time was a miscommunication between Josh's Instagram story that was a joke. But
Was that me? Whose phone was that? Yours?
that was my phone. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm
no
sorry.
worries.
Sorry.
No, you're on the good side. You're one of our most common guests now, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Essentially,
Tana and Bryce.
Yeah,
Who
Tana
would've
and,
thought?
Tana and
Tana and
Bryce. And that actually makes perfect sense leading into our next topic, I guess, with you because I guess you and Bryce have beef. We had Bryce on last week, and he was kind of talking shit about you guys, saying, if I recall correctly, you guys were never really friends to begin with. He said at one point, did he say he fucked you for clout? Is that what the issue was? Am I remembering?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
said that on
said that
Zach
on-
saying, right?
But then he also said that Tana would use him for videos, but we were saying that it was a two-way thing.
Yep.
That he was
So where are we at this, Tana? Where
It's
are you?
funny. I just looked. Bree was kind enough to send me the briefing for today's episode, and it's so funny because it is just jam-packed full of quote-unquote drama and things that we have to talk about. And I knew Bryce was going to be the first one. Yeah, I saw that episode. That was a doozy for sure for me. That was a doozy. Whenever something like really frustrates me, I go or like upsets me or hurts my feelings, I go directly to my notes app and I will make out like a bullet point list of how I feel. And that's what I did the second that I saw that podcast. Here's the thing. I know today we're unpacking a lot of scandalous topics and I'm down for all of it. But maybe I'm just not in the mood. My mood changes every week. I'm not in the mood to beef with Bryce. Second, even really. I'm not in the mood to beef with Bryce right now. And I mean, so the OG podcast came out where he was on Zach saying, and they were like, have you ever hooked up with anyone for clout? And he was like, yeah, Tana. I was like, sick. That's awesome. You know, I am a human being too. And certain things definitely are like, okay, ouch. Like that's.
Haven't you said that though reverse before? I feel like the first time we ever talked, you were like, you said you clout farm. I thought you said that.
Farm. I definitely do clout farm. I guess clout farming, every time I've ever explained it on anything, is usually a mutually beneficial relationship that you establish with someone that usually also is intertwined with a friendship, because you can't do something like that with someone if you don't get along to some point. But I don't fuck for clout. And I saw when you were responding to Bryce, you were like, well, Tana fucks for clout too. So like, da-da-da-da.
I thought you said that. I thought I was quoting like you.
No, I mean, maybe I've made a joke like towards what people have said about me. But if I was out here fucking for clout, I would be telling you guys the most famous people I've slept with. The only time I ever address someone with clout that I have hooked up with is if it comes to public knowledge first, or if the other person is making a joke with me on something. I'm not going to come on here and be like, hi, BFFs, here's the most famous person I've ever fucked. Like, it's just, and I'm not, dude, you've seen I've borderline fucked homeless men. Like, I'm not choosing who I'm getting with based on where it's going to get me in the world, you know? But, so yeah, I saw that. podcast with Bryce. And to my knowledge, at that point, we were still good. And then I went on canceled, and I just addressed it in like a very brief and like joking way. And Brooke kind of spearheaded that conversation as well. She was the one who was a little more upset, as friends are when they protect their best friends. And then after that, Bryce tweeted his fight was coming up, and he was like, I really need Tana to say Team Bryce on God or something like that. I don't know the exact verbiage he used, but he said something like that. And then I went on Saving Grace podcast, and I was talking a little more about it because I don't know how it came up, but we just started talking about Bryce saying that. And still, to my knowledge, we're good. And then I'm looking at my tagged photos on Instagram, and I see that Bryce has unfollowed me. And I was like, okay, damn. Like, but I didn't, I didn't think there was like a issue here or whatever. And then I see his podcast with all of you where he is saying, we were never friends. Saying we aren't friends, saying all of that. And
is that not true? Is that like, I could see a lot of relationships in LA being the way he described, in which you're like not calling to like hang out, but if you see somebody out, you make a video. But it's like,
I understand. I have friendships like that where, in the daytime we're scheduling to do work and content together and stuff like that. And again, everyone has their own opinion. If Bryce sincerely feels like we were never friends, then like that's how he feels. I definitely don't feel like that at all. And it really, honest to God, hurt my feelings a lot to watch that clip. And I think it takes a lot to hurt my feelings. Like, I was like, damn. Like, I mean, if we were only doing things for clout, I can sit here and name countless times, like tens and tens of times, where we were hanging out without a camera, without a TikTok, without content, whether it was Halloween with like Josie and we were going to all these haunted houses and doing shit together. He was having a poker night at his house and he's like, come over and compete in the poker nights. Or we're both in Vegas and we're out gambling and laughing and being crazy until like 5 a.m. Bryce and I also have like told each other so many of like our deepest, darkest secrets and random shit. And we'll like shoot the shit about random shit all the time. Like when I see him, we've supported each other for so much. Like Dizzy, he would just come through to everything or be shotgunning them on my balcony and like supporting it. And then of course I'd film it because there's cameras everywhere. That. Like, and again, like just friendship wise, like he's told me some of Josh's deepest, darkest secrets and I've been there. And like, you know what I mean? We've had so many moments that I accounted for as sincere friendship. So I was,
I could totally see how, based on what you're saying, I mean, you are doing a 180 take from what he said, which is you guys were fake friends and you're saying you're real friends. So if someone said that about anybody, they'd be insulted.
If that's how he feels, that's how he feels. I never was like, oh, we're fake friends. And it like to insinuate that I am the only person that was taking content or that the content I was taking was like against his will.
Yeah.
Is like really where I was like, damn. Because it's like, you can go back to all of his content at the same time. Like, like some of my most viewed TikToks with him, like he was making TikToks with me that day as well. I was in so many of his vlogs for so long, like Snapchat or just different pieces of content and like paparazzi where we'd be like, let's leave this party and are you down to go take photos? And of course I'm like, when I'm in a friendship like that with someone, I'm going to ask like, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to make this TikTok? And if Bryce was ever like, no, not right now or anything like that, like I would never, I don't want to make content or do anything with anyone who feels like they're
doesn't want to.
Like,
Yeah.
And it's again, like Harry Jowsey's a great example. Like, yes, we were clout farming and doing all that shit together, but like I'll call Harry and talk for an hour and like shoot, like we have a genuine friendship and I don't think he'd ever say anything like that about me. I don't know if what I said on Saving Grace or whatever like made Bryce mad, but
yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's fair. It's such a different world, but if you think a friendship's real and someone says not, I always thought it was I always thought you guys were friends. I always thought it was a mutual, like, get content. Josh, you probably know better. Like, what was your take on their relationship from outside?
Yeah, I mean, from what I saw, everyone would be like filming and whatnot. So I kind of just assumed everyone was like chill like that. But then Bryce obviously came on and said that's not how it was at all. So Bryce, I guess everything that he said, he didn't talk about it much off the pod. He talked about it for like 2 seconds off the podcast, being like, you know how it is. You know how it is. Like, this is my Bryce voice. You know how it is. You know how it is. Like, I just feel like she would, like, put the camera in front and be like, film this video right now, and then be, like, all over me, and then not be, and then it's, like, over. And
all over me is also wild because so much of our friendship was based in me hanging out with, like, him and Josie, or, like, him and a girl that he was maybe into. And, like, I was with him and my boyfriend in Vegas, and, like, the January. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, Josh, think about that day that you, Josie, and Bryce went to Santa Monica bungalows. Like, did we make a single TikTok that day? Like, did we, like, no, we went and we drank and we had a night. Like,
yeah, I remember drinking and having a night. I don't remember filming a TikTok. I feel like we could have maybe. I have no fucking clue.
At my house after we were all like fucked up, me, you, Josie, and Bryce filmed a TikTok. But like
that is like the lowest standard of entry because
that's not everyone does
what
that
everybody
with their friends.
Yeah, that's what everybody who's in the content world seems to do. It's not like if you hang out with your friends, it's late. Like Silvana, when we were at Syracuse, she's making TikToks. It wasn't like someone's using each other.
Yeah, you're like, I never dated Silvana.
Right.
I hated her.
I don't know about this part. Bryce on BFFs. Bryce also responded on Twitter to backlash by people saying he was acting too cool because he didn't know TikTok drama. What does this mean? Is this a shot at Dave? What does that mean, Austin?
See, this seems like he's just trying to churn the butter a little bit. Austin's just trying to churn some butter here and get you going.
I didn't write that question, but people were saying he's like, I'm too old to be talking about TikTok drama. Like, is he talking about Dave?
Oh, well, Bryce's entire brand is that. Like, I mean,
He's pulling it made him, and now he's like, I don't do that shit anymore. I'm a boxer, which is kind of crazy.
Did he say I don't do that shit anymore?
Like when he came on BFFs last week, he's like, I don't care about that stuff anymore.
I feel like Bryce, you're just so bored.
I don't like all this weird drama.
You know, it'd be so sick if everyone would just like give me a break and hop off my nut. On one hand, I get in drama and then I'm like a drama starter and an annoying piece of shit. Then on the other, if I don't care about the drama because I don't pay attention to any of the drama, I just am acting way too cool for school. Or I'm like, pick me vibes. To be like completely honest with you guys, I didn't know what they were talking about. I don't know any of the people they were talking about, so my input made me look like I was too cool for school. So I'm sorry if I don't care if someone does the renegade and makes someone break up with somebody. Like, I'm 24 years old now. I don't pay attention to that shit. I was going on the podcast to talk about like my bare knuckle fight, and I talked about it, and then they just started talking about random stuff. So yeah, bottom line is I really just don't give a shit.
You know, here's what I'm gonna say. I appreciate that take. I think I agree. Like, this isn't a beef. This isn't drama. I don't want to go back and forth with him like at all. He's boxing. I'm touring. In my opinion, we both have done so much shit together and have so much dirt on each other. I'm not Dylan Dennis and he's not Logan Paul. I'm not trying to come at each other on like, you know, my feelings were genuinely hurt, but I mean, if that's how he feels about what I think or thought our friendship was, then that's how he feels. And you know, I wish him the best.
The only confusing thing I'd say about that clip that we just watched is like, you better care about TikTok drama and want to talk about like you're not going to be taken seriously anytime soon, just as a bare knuckle boxer, and the people you need to buy your fights and pay for your pay-per-views will be the people who know you from your TikTok world and from all that shit. He's acting like 24 is like 107. Like, have you seen how people promote fights? They stay in the news and they want to be talked about. So just to be like, I want to be known as just this fighter and that's it. Well, there's a million of those, and no one cares about a million of those. People care about you because of the other stuff.
I think he'll still get in his fair share of drama. I don't think we need to count out Bryce getting in drama. I think that's just part of his human nature.
Good for him, and by the way, it's good for him in what he's doing.
Yeah, it is.
Right now.
I think he's solely talking about like TikTok specifically, like the Pinky Doll shit. I think that's more what he was.
She's fire. I mean, come on.
I wasn't saying she's not. I'm just saying there's going to be some people that aren't paying attention to it, right? So I guess Bryce is one of those people, and he's trying to say like, hey, if I'm gonna be either in on the drama or not, you can't like hate me for both. you
Yeah,
know?
he probably shouldn't have been on the headlines for the show, but I didn't take it. He just looked bored. I didn't take that as like a personal insult.
No, yeah.
But I do think that's the wrong strategy for anybody. Like, try to get involved in whatever you're on or doing. Try to get people to be interested in you so you can leverage it different ways.
100%. Hey, Tana, do you think that this you and Bryce beef is at all similar to you and Mads, and you claiming that you and Mads were never friends?
Amazing segue, Josh. I just want
Thank
to give
you.
you a slight asterisk on what you said. This is not beef for me. I am not participating on the Bryce end. Yes, I saw that on the BFFs docket today. And I do.
This was from a while ago, right?
I know.
This was from
Yeah.
a while ago.
I know that the last time we were in talks of me coming on and it didn't happen and we all agreed, and I have the receipts to prove that, Dave. I was gonna
I'm
talk
over
about
it.
that. I was going to talk about that in that moment. I mean, no, I've never hung out with Mads really, except for at parties, like 2 times. I've only ever met her in person, like 2, 3, 4. I'll say 6, just so it doesn't become a thing amount of times. And we've never.
Mads
gone-
hasn't been on our sheet in a while. I feel like she hasn't. We haven't talked about her in a
Best
minute.
life.
In a
She's
happy
living her best life with her
relationship, yeah.
boyfriend. Their TikTok came up on my For You page the other day, and it was really cute. And
Who's she dating?
I love that.
Hayden?
This guy, Hayden.
Okay. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it. It hasn't showed
He's
up.
a
Good for them.
TikToker.
Okay. Everyone's
Yeah.
a TikToker. This is the most predictable headline of all time. Tana and Brooke under fire for being late to their live show. What happened?
Under fire, damn.
What
Is that a real
happened?
headline?
It's the headline right here.
I believe it.
Tana and
Yeah,
Brooke
we're-
are on tour for their podcast and fans. And at their Pittsburgh show, people are not happy with their experience. Doors are supposed to open at 7. They didn't open till 9. And Tana and Brooke allegedly didn't go on till 9:45. Tana apparently didn't apologize for being late, but instead gave an excuse. Fans were upset. Tana and Brooke share the same stories they had already told on Plan Brie.
Triple homicide right there. Am I right?
God damn.
The doors open thing is incorrect, and I have I could show you from my vlog timing or whatever. Like, that wasn't the timing. I was 45 minutes late to my meet and greet for the Pittsburgh show, and then we went on stage right about the time we were supposed to. I would say it was a couple minutes off. I mean, this is my first podcast tour and my first tour in 4 years, and I think we're still learning, as you do when you go on a tour.
For just not to be a dickhead or a wise ass, but to be on time.
No,
That's
no,
Still
what
no,
you
learn to
learned?
be on time.
This-
no. This
storytelling
was-
on stage
that
and
was
stuff.
that was a precursor into my next sentence.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
But we did 5 shows back to back to back to back, and a couple were 2 in a night and stuff like that. And I think, this is not an excuse. I'm just stating why I was late and what was going on, which I told on stage, and did. It wasn't an excuse. It was just a story. Here's why I'm late. So first of all, back to back to back to back, we finally get to the final show of this run, and it's Pittsburgh, and you're dead. You don't get any sleep. You're sprintering around, whatever. Our sprinter ended up being a little late into the city, and I am wildly injured right now. Brianna, I actually need to talk to you about this. I don't know how you do it. I've seen this bitch fly off of a golf cart and concuss herself, and she's like, "I'm fine. Let's just go hang out." I fell out of a sprinter, a parked sprinter, which is even more embarrassing. And it's healing now a little bit. It looks fine now.
You missed your show because of a
This is
scab?
your. This
That
is
looks
This
that
was
looks like
10
a bad cut.
This was 10 days, 10 days ago. So it was very, very bad. I did not miss my show, Josh. I was fucking 40 minutes late to the meet and greet, but I was just bleeding a lot. I literally had to keep my hand over my head, and they were like, "Go to the urgent care, go somewhere, get something." I still think I need a little wrap situation, but
Yeah.
we just wrapped
I guess the people that pay extra for the meet and greet, fuck them, right? Who cares
So-
about 45 minutes?
not
She
at
still
all.
went. She
Not at
still
all. And to
went.
be
It doesn't
honest,
matter.
I mean, from my experience, every single person we met at the meet and greet, they're like, "We knew you were gonna be late, girl. Let's take a shot." That's very much how
That is a nice thing to have built into your crowd. It's just Tana. We got the full
Expecting
Tana
it.
experience. I do have a question.
They want you to be late.
You
No, and they
said
were literally being like, "Give me the blood from your hand," that type of energy. And I was like, "Okay,
Oh, that's
listen,
weird.
And I
Super
had talked to
gross.
everyone at the meet and greet. I was like, I'm sorry, you know, and everyone was just like, we don't really care. You know, if people went online and said something after, even since that show though, I've been like retweeting and reposting.
So what did you learn?
Not to do 5 shows back to back to back, be on time. But I learned that I'm excited for the rest of the shows. They're sold out and they're gonna be so fun. And
How many more shows do you have?
I don't know. Like 8 right now that are public, but there's a bunch of dates coming and I'm really excited. And I had a great time with Pittsburgh. Everyone that posted after that I've seen was like, I had the best time and were tweeting me and I was reposting them all. And
It's pretty impressive. You're selling out all these shows. That's nothing to sneeze at.
Thank you, Dave.
Very impressive.
Thank you.
And you learn it as you go. I think in the end, as crazy as my original joke was, when I asked, what'd you learn? You're like, yeah, to be on time. I think that is what you actually answered.
Yeah.